Well, I got a nice little find just above where I found that bullet. Look at it. I think it's a large scent. Well, I hope you guys join me for a brand new metal detecting adventure today. We're going to see if we can find some Civil War stuff. There should be some camps in this area. Of course, you can always find colonial stuff most anywhere you go. I have my one glove on. That's to dig with. And I got my bare hand to work the camera and also to, you know, do the fine work when you start pulling those little $1 gold coins out of the crack. All right, that's where we started the video right there. And like I said, we're going to work downstream. The only problem is it's going to be really cloudy. But we have to turn around when we get down there ways and come back up. So hopefully we'll get a little underwater action. I'm going to let you see the first signal. Right there, kind of a high squeaker. Could be anything from a wheat penny to a something very treasureful. Find out together. Yeah, sure enough, it's a penny. That is a memorial scent. So it's probably people down here fishing or swimming or something. If you look on the back of these coins, that's the Lincoln Memorial in Washington, D.C. Of course, the front has the bust of Lincoln on it. So I'm not really getting a lot of signals, but it's perfect conditions here. You can see where the bank is eroded, so we can look up there for bullets and arrowheads and stuff. Bottom is, it's not rock right here, but it's really thick clay. So anything that falls on it won't sink very deep. What we're going to do is kind of like stay on this half of the river, going down, and then we'll get on that other half coming back up. So there's some deer tracks right there. That's a white-tailed deer. This is our first piece of metal besides a penny. All right, there she is. I'm not even sure what that is, to be honest with you. Whew. Got some fittings on the side. This big, heavy iron thing. Look at the size of that root ball. Wow. You see this? You can see this cut in the bank is where it pulled up and fell down, and it's created a deep hole right here. Man, that's a monster. If nothing else, we'll see some nature stuff today. Man, I haven't gotten hardly any signals at all. Been at it for about 20 minutes. The day ain't over yet, though. Okay, I do have a find here. It's a bullet, but it's a what I would call a modern bullet. It's full metal jacket. That's a copper jacket over lead core. I imagine it's probably like the mid to late 1900s, but I won't show you all of these that I dig. I'll probably dig some more, because usually where you find one along a creek, you find a bunch. So this is the only one I'll show you today, probably, unless we don't start finding some good stuff. Let me show you something interesting real quick. If you look here, you can see how this is how the dirt here sloughed down is going into the river, right? And that's what happens along these banks. Look at a piece of iron by my feet. That's what happens with these banks, is the dirt comes down and gets washed away. And since it's hard bottom, the good stuff will be laying on there. Now, the only problem is the river could have been another 50 feet over that way 100 years ago, and it's just slowly moving this direction as it's cutting the bank out. So, you know, relics that were in the water during the Civil War thrown in the water, you know, could be over there, could be underneath that gravel, who knows. All right, so we've been on the river for about an hour. I really haven't found much, but I'm starting to get into an area where there are a few things. Let me show you this. This is what I believe is a pin off of a railroad. We're also getting into an area where there's more fishing activity. This is a fishing lure called a spoon. It would have had hooks right there, and of course it would be tied right there and go through the water and just kind of wiggle like that, and then catch you know, catch fish like bass and pickerel and stuff like that. This is a chunk of a lead that's been squared off. I can't tell if it's a Civil War bullet or not. I mean, it could be. Just really hard to say. They used it for fishing. See, it might be carved a little bit right on the top, so that's probably where they tied the line. Yeah, so it's good, man. If I can just find a few more of these, I'll call it a good day. Well, here's my first find that I eyeballed, meaning I didn't have the metal detector over it when I saw it. This is a knife, you know, like a table knife. Yeah, so that's just a modern table knife. But let me show you a few things I've been finding. Been finding some iron, probably off a railroad. This is part of a wedge, big wedge that's broken. Been finding some more of these homemade sinkers. There's one. You see it's got a hole in it. Base has been clipped off. Probably not a bullet. Here's another one. Another homemade sinker. A couple of modern ones too. This is what I call modern. This means it was made in a mold. I mean, that's my definition, but these were made in a mold. You see it's got little hooks on them. This is kind of interesting though. This is a lead solder from the bottom of a can. This could very easily be from a Civil War soldier's rations. Now, these were around from like probably 1840s, 50s up until 1880s. It was possible one of the soldiers pitched a can in the water and this is all that's left. All the tin can part of the tin can rusted away. Okay, so we made it down to the railroad bridge and I found a lot of stuff down here over the years. But I've hunted it a lot too, so I'm not like 100% we're going to like load up on Civil War relics. But there's so much iron in here, it's very likely we could find some stuff. Tracks right there, bridge. This is a post-Civil War bridge. This is one that was made after the Civil War. But there was one here during the Civil War, and it was burned like a whole bunch of times. Confederates burned it, and of course the Yankees came and rebuilt it. So found a lot of stuff here, and hopefully we'll find some more today. Just want to give you a little close-up of the bridge. See, it's pretty massive. You don't normally see Civil War bridges that quite that massive, but if you look in these stones, how it has all these little drill marks where they they face the stones, made a flat like that. You don't see that on bridges from the Civil War. At least I never have around here. That's always like an 1880s type of thing, late 1800s. Too much iron in here to metal detect. If you look here, you can see there's just tons of railroad iron, so we're gonna have to get down below the bridge a little bit. If I was a recycler, I'd be happy. Well, I am, but it's too far. It's much too far to take this stuff out of here. All right, let's go ahead, and we're going to move down there. Below these rocks is where I found some bullets in the past, and hopefully I missed a few. Well, looky what I just found. It's a pawpaw tree. I don't think they're going to be ripe yet, but you can see it's loaded with pawpaws. They're kind of small, so they're not going to be ripe. Yeah, hard as a rock. It's going to be a little while before they're ripe, probably another month or so. They got to be nice and soft. In fact, I've found that the best way to get the really good ones is when they're ripe, you grab a branch and you shake it. And the ones that fall from the tree, those are perfect. You can get the ones on the ground too, but a lot of times, you know, they might have been down there for a while, and of course, raccoons might have like walked on them and stuff. So I always like to get them from the tree. If you look here, I'm getting a lot of like railroad spikes and just washers, things like that. Big washers, little washers. That's a brake pad off an automobile or a truck or something, but not a bullet one. So we're going to go ahead and move back up out of here, go back up under the bridge, and hopefully we'll find some stuff on the way back up the river. This is our turnaround point. So I'm still working my way up toward the bridge, and a lot of big iron signals, but I'm not going to dig any here because there's just too much junk. Haven't really found anything good yet, except this was a good signal. This is a reflector off of a flashlight. Obviously not that old, but it was a good sounding signal, and there's not too many of them out here. I have an interesting little find here. I actually just looked down and saw it, but I wanted to show it to you because I really don't know if I've showed you these before. This right here is a big, heavy iron object, and what it is a spring off of, I guess, a boxcar. If some of you railroad guys know, if it's not a boxcar, let us know. Or if it is a boxcar, let us know. But you find a lot of these around railroad bridges for some reason. That's a big old heavy spring. So I just dug this, and I could feel it with my fingers underneath the water, and I thought for sure it wasn't going to be a bullet. But that looks like a sinker that someone poured for fishing. And then, right after that, I found this, which I guess is a sinker, and it's a big, it's a sheet of lead that they flattened out and punched a hole in it. And I found those too, right in this area, so there might be some more in here, hopefully. Well, I'm officially not skunked for bullets. Just found this round ball. All right. That's probably fired, although I can't tell for sure. Right here, got some pretty good bedrock, so we'll swing around here a little bit. All the pressure's off, even though we're almost back to the vehicle. So right in the same hole where we just found that bullet, getting another kind of a squeaker. So let's go under and see if we can find that together. It might be another bullet on the exact same hole. Well, isn't that special? That's a modern sinker. You know, if I had found this first, I probably wouldn't even dug that other signal, so we wouldn't have had a bullet. All right, we'll look around some more though. I'm not going to give up just because we found one modern sinker here. Well, Wow, big old crawdad. That looks like an old turkey leg there. What do you think? I don't guess we'll be having that one for Thanksgiving. Well, I got a nice little find just above where I found that bullet. Look at it. I think it's a large cent. I hope. Yeah, it's green, so I'm going to say that's probably a large cent. Or it could be a colonial copper. Well, I finally found a 100% Civil War bullet. This is a cold bullet right here. It's fired, but it's definitely a Civil War pistol bullet. Most excellent. So we didn't get skunked on Civil War stuff. We didn't get skunked on old coins. We didn't get skunked on old iron. Didn't get skunked on 30-30 cartridges. Yeah, we did all right. Well, so far. This is the end of the trip for me. I'm almost back to the vehicle. I thought I'd sit in the shade and talk to you about what we found. So as you can see, we have a lot of objects here. Everything from like really old spikes. Really like that one. I'm going to keep it. Not sure what this thing is. It's almost like some type of weird little club or something. Yeah, that's a brake pad. But anyway, let's look at some of the better stuff we found since we're here. You can see we've got some rifle cartridges. That's 30-30. That's probably a 223, if I had to guess. Got one large cent. And you can see the 1 cent on the back. That's going to be mid 1800s or so. It could be early 1800s too. And we've got some homemade sinkers, one Civil War bullet, one round ball, which could be a Civil War bullet. This is kind of neat. Again, that's a base to a ration tin. That's like a lead solder. It's kind of a cool little sinker right there. Too bad the guy didn't carve his name in it, huh? All right, that's about it. So I hope you enjoyed the little adventure. We'll get out there again, I promise you, real soon.
She'll shake the coins from your pocket, take your gold chain and your locket. Mother Earth has no sympathy. She'll take the ring from your hand and bury it in the sand and keep it for eternity. Mother Earth, she's got her secrets she's promised to keep, hidden in her dirt or deep in her creek. Mother Earth, she ain't saying exactly what she's saving, where it is, or